Hello everyone. Here we are with episode 3 of North of Reason. This week, Sarah was generous enough to join us again, so
Thanks
we
for coming
will
back.
be able to
Thanks.
continue our ranking of the Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Last we left off, we talked about Rogue One, we talked about Return of the Jedi, and we talked about Empire.
Boo.
Right? Is that it?
Empire
Is that all we
Strikes Back,
covered?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think we did the prequels. And
Oh,
We
no.
definitely did not do the prequels.
Oh, don't worry.
Also,
That's coming.
I don't
That's
think
coming.
we did the newer episodes either.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what we're gonna talk about today.
Yeah,
Like
so
what,
we're
7
gonna
and
we're
8?
gonna keep going down our rankings. Now we're
Yes.
down towards more the middle spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Um,
probably a good time to talk about the newest episodes, 7 and 8?
right.
And
we're
we
gonna
also have to talk about the original too.
New Hope.
Oh, that's true.
Sarah
I forgot.
still hasn't seen Solo,
Shame.
I'm so sorry.
so we're gonna postpone that discussion for another day. I'm not sure
or
when
you
we're gonna
guys
do
can
that.
just hash it out. I
We'll
don't...
figure it out.
Me and Sean both really like it,
Yeah.
so like we're kind of hoping that you're gonna like hate it, so that we can yell at you about how
Right.
good it was.
Oh, okay.
We'll see how that goes.
It's not like I didn't want to watch it. I was just busy.
So I think we should probably start with New Hope just to finish off the original trilogy.
I think that's a good idea. And then we'll jump into the sequels, which honestly I don't think have been that bad.
Me either.
I mean,
Neither do I. Everyone seems to hate them, and
people
I'm like,
are
I
like,
don't know.
this is the worst movie, like especially Last Jedi. People, oh my god. Okay, like, it
Calm.
wasn't amazing. It wasn't the best movie I've ever seen,
Mhm.
but it wasn't.
Yeah, I think it
awful.
paid true homage to what this series
But
has been.
whatever,
But
whatever.
anyway, sorry,
Homage.
continuing.
What?
Homage.
All right, so let's go with New Hope first. Sounds like a good idea.
Okay. I have this at number 2.
I have it at 3.
I can't find it. I have it 3 as well.
Hey!
I didn't like that.
Too freaking bad, Sean.
Yeah. I'm tired.
So I mean, we all rated it pretty high up.
Yeah.
So.
It was a good movie. I really liked. I tend to like introductions
So do
in
I.
general. Like I really like.
You like origin stories and
Yeah.
stuff?
I
I
like New Hope.
really.
I like Marvel origin stories.
I
like
agree.
Fellowship of the Ring.
Really? That was
Yeah.
the worst one of the 3.
Hey, what? Paul.
Two Towers and
What?
Return of the King was way better. Which one got nominated for tied for the most Oscars of all time? Return of the King.
Mhm.
You know which one didn't? Fellowship of the Ring. We'll leave it at that.
And the guy who came up with lobotomies got a Nobel Prize.
Well,
Wow.
besides the point. I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I like how it brought together all these characters, this mishmash of people.
We're back to New Hope, are
Yes.
we? Okay.
Yes.
The conclusion was a little weird.
What about how so?
Not as.
Because it
yeah.
ended in that weird ceremony and it just kind of stopped, you know?
Yeah.
I think it was warranted though, because at the time the movie was made, George Lucas, he didn't know that if these movies would be successful or not.
Right.
So he didn't know if he would be able to afford to make the
Right,
next
so
two
he kind
to
of
finish
just
the
left
trilogy.
it open.
Right. So in case he couldn't make the next two, it had a satisfying enough conclusion, like
Yeah, I
within
would agree.
itself as a system.
Yeah.
I mean, the main criticisms that I can think of for the movie were the dialogue was kind of
Cheesy.
Yeah, like it was kind of just like you could have thought of better stuff to say there. Like it was pretty basic dialogue. That's what I'm trying to say here.
Mhm.
Like it wasn't like well thought out. Like oh my god, I'm dying over this dialogue. No, it's kind of like okay.
Yeah, but it still did it still introduced ideas like the Force.
No.
you know,
Like
that's
I'm not
giant.
discounting the ideas here. I'm just saying that the dialogue is my main criticism.
Yeah, the
for
specific
Okay.
way that they conveyed the culture, I guess, of the movies.
Right.
I mean, like we don't have a lot to talk about because we all like
Yeah, it's pretty good.
it. It was.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What did I not like about this
I
movie?
mean, let's see. I mean, some fun facts about New Hope was it's the only time that they ever
Fun
say
facts.
robots in the entire movie series instead of
Robots?
droids. Luke says if they track the robots here, then they could track them back to Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, I have a criticism.
That was just
Uh-oh.
a screw up. Of
I have a
lines.
criticism.
What?
2 criticisms that are related to each other, actually.
Huh.
Luke's aunt and uncle who he's lived with his entire life,
Right.
they die very like
Early.
not just early,
We don't even
gruesomely. There's a lot of gore. They
Yeah.
pan into their skeletons, and he doesn't really seem to mourn for them very much.
Yeah.
There's like half a scene where he gazes into the sunset, and then after that he doesn't really mention them
Yeah,
again.
there's like one sad boy minute, and
Right.
then the rest is just, oh, well, they're dead.
All
Time
right,
to go. Move on
off
now.
into the
Yeah,
stars.
no, I
into
agree
the...
with that. We don't even really get a full introduction
And then
of what they're
even
like.
worse, Leia's entire planet explodes. And she doesn't, it never really comes up that she's mourning about that. Like, she looks away in terror as it's happening. After that, she's fine.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
it's because they're
No,
trying to
that's
move
true.
along with the plot, and they kind of forget that
I mean,
these are
like,
actual
I guess
people.
so. But
You
then,
have
like,
to think of it
at the
as-
end, Luke is so upset over Obi-Wan. There's a whole series of scenes about him distressed over Obi-Wan's
And it's
death.
like, you
Right.
knew this guy for how long was the movie? Like 2 hours?
I mean-
You've lived with your aunt and uncle for how long?
Right, and then, like, you know, juxtaposed with Leia's entire planet exploding, all of her friends, her family, everyone, everything she ever knew is gone.
She's just like, nah, the rebellion.
But she's sitting there at the end, patting Luke's back. It's okay.
Like, it's okay. We all loved him.
No, I mean,
That was weird. That
Yeah.
was strange.
the
I
only
agree.
reason I can give for that is because, like, if you think it's a space opera, so like operas.
What?
That's like what it's called. It's like a space odyssey, space opera.
Yeah.
Like, Lucas based it on the series of events of an opera, or like an epic poem.
Whenever I meet someone who hasn't seen Star Wars, I describe it as Shakespeare in space.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, and think about it.
Spear.
Stop.
Space.
Stop.
I like to think of it as like the Odyssey or like the Iliad
Yeah.
in space. So like, those characters weren't super emotional. So like, I mean, he's kind of but not really. Like, that's the only reason I can give you for that. Like, I agree. It's kind of dumb that they're just like, oh yeah, they're dead. Let's keep
Yeah.
going.
Right.
Well, in that regard, I guess I'm going to give credit to the other movies because then they really did explore the emotional depth of the characters that weren't
And
present in the first one.
Sometimes too much.
Oh, yeah. Got a little angsty there.
I mean, could that be why you guys enjoyed
I
this
think
movie
so.
so much? Was because there wasn't a lot of emotional stuff?
I don't like to think that.
Because, like, if
a
you
lot
think-
of, I put it before Empire, and I think a big reason of that is because the characters are more complex. The characters are more emotionally complex.
Right, but like what I'm saying is, if you think to the prequels, which Sean you hate so much, a good like, I don't know, 50% of that is just all Anakin Padme emotion, and you seem to hate that. So could that
I
be a
do
reason?
seem to hate that. I agree.
So could you maybe
Oh,
see why?
maybe because it's like, I love you, Anakin, and he's like, I love you too. It's like,
Damn.
cool. It's like talking to a brick wall.
But like,
Look, I'm floating a pear.
so I'm just saying, like, maybe that emotionlessness and that
CGI
not
pear.
like focus on the
Yeah.
emotions. Like, I personally think there's a lot less focus on the emotions in the original trilogy. Like, would you agree?
No.
How so?
I think it was less of a focus in New Hope. I think it was...
Probably because they were trying to get the spark that would hopefully lead to more movies. They were trying to get...
But like, even Empire Strikes
The
Back,
plot along.
would you say that Leia and Han's relationship is very emotional? Not really.
I mean,
it's very emotionless.
That was my favorite.
I think it's like... So,
Oh, he's
in
my
the
brother.
prequels,
Oh,
it's
okay.
done ridiculously. Like, it's just dumb.
It's over the top.
Yeah.
Over, yeah.
In
Melodrama.
the original trilogy, it's subtler, but it's still definitely there.
But is it really? Like, it's not. That's what
I'm-
I'm saying. It's
I'm
not
gonna-
an emphasis.
Yeah, it's a side plot,
Right.
but it's an important side plot.
But it's not even a side plot. It's just like kind of there. It's not a super emphasis.
I disagree. I think it's really important to the arcs of these characters. If you look at Han
But see,
and
I-
Leia,
I see
you know,
all the
their
characters.
personalities, they change because of each other, because they find importance in each other.
Aww.
They become more.
Yeah, but I still see them as like emotionless
human,
characters.
almost.
Like, cause
No.
it's not.
I resent that.
But it's true. They don't have a lot of emotions, or at least they don't show a lot of emotions.
Well, I also think that if there's a lot of things going on, like you know, a radical government terrorizing the whole galaxy. That might be a thing going on. You kind of get distracted.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, Sean hates the prequels because of all the emotions. That's probably why he likes the original trilogy, because there's so less emotions.
No, you know what it is?
I think it's just done much better.
It's because the emotion is real. In the first, in the prequels, it really just feels like they're making fun of the emotions of the characters.
In my opinion, love is equally important to Han and Leia's arc as it is to Anakin's arc in the prequels.
I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying it's not emphasized. It's not.
Does it need to be?
Right, that means it's done better.
I'm not.
It's there in both, but it's done better in one. And done better is a result of it being
done better
emphasized.
Versus emphasized is two different things. Because I'm just saying that the emotions are not as important in the original trilogy. You're saying it's just they did a better job of showing them. I'm saying they're not as much there.
Well, and I think that probably goes back to by the time the prequels were made, a fan base had already been established, so people had kind of already known these characters.
But they're all new characters.
I mean, I guess, but they already knew the worlds and the stories, so they weren't really looking for plot devices per se, so it was more personal, I guess, in the prequels versus the original trilogy.
I'm just saying that might be your reason why Luke and Leia didn't show so much emotion, because just that whole series overall didn't have a lot of emotion shown.
Okay, moving on.
Hold on. Another thing before we end with the original trilogy. I don't like Chewbacca.
What? What? Get out. Get out.
No.
Door's right there.
Stop
Get out.
it.
Get out.
Why is he there?
Out.
Okay, just so you guys know, we are in a room that is pretty much me 3 lengths long at its longest bit. So, Sean's pretty much almost in the door already.
Well, Sean needs to leave the door, because Sean, take it back.
He's there as the co-pilot, and other than that, he just kind of moans a lot. And that's all he does.
Think about all the important stuff. Think about all the important stuff Chewbacca did. Think about it all.
He shot that one guy.
Looking
that one
only
time.
at the original trilogy, like what?
He carried C-3PO on Bespin.
Oh my god, like a backpack.
Yep. Yep. What else did Chewbacca do? Let's see. He got them stuck in the Ewok net.
So, okay, so
That's important.
if I still had the whiteboard, I'd be going up to it and saying, writing story does not equal plot again. Yeah, these are things that Chewbacca did plot-wise. What did he contribute to the story?
What did he contribute to the story?
Friendship.
He contributed to Han's human side.
Is he a foil?
Because if Han was so, not a real... He is a foil. But if Han was so, gangster and tough guy and stuff, he wouldn't care about Chewbacca.
Okay.
But it just shows that even this rebel scumbag Han Solo still has a friend that he cares about, even at the beginning.
I also
can get
feel
behind
like
that.
it shows Han's restraint because obviously Chewbacca is more impulsive.
Right.
And I feel like they both have similar mentalities. So if Chewie's going to do something, Han's probably going to be going to do the same exact thing, but a lot of the time he does hold him back in certain scenarios.
Yeah.
And I just think that shows a lot of, I don't know, self-insight, I guess.
But I think that...
But it's a physical representation of it.
I think that Chewbacca, in the originals at least, exists only to supplement Han and isn't really interesting himself. Which is a big reason why I like Solo, because Solo dives into Chewbacca and makes him a little more complex.
But you know what also dives into Chewbacca? Makes him a little bit more complex?
Stop it. Stop it.
The prequel.
Stop it.
and the Clone Wars TV show.
Stop it! You need to leave now.
There's a bunch of episodes where
And
Chewbacca's
literally
in
no
there.
one cares, Paul.
I care. And Sean's brother cares, too.
Exactly. I said no one cares. You're no one. Sorry, that was too far. That was mean.
I think I can get behind the idea that he makes Han more human. And I also see the value in him being this funny strongman bear-looking thing.
Porgs.
That's humorous. That's comedic relief. But outside of that, he doesn't do much.
He's got a cool bowcaster.
Okay. I mean, I guess.
And I almost want to say the same thing for 3PO
What?
and R2, because again, they're comedic relief.
No, they're the storytellers.
I really don't approve. I
They're
don't
the
want to say I
storytellers
don't
of the
like
whole
him,
franchise.
but C-3PO is not my favorite. Like,
But, like,
at all.
Like, look at the whole story. What characters have been there through every single thing?
But they're boring.
But that's the point. They're the narrators. Is the narrator supposed to be interesting?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. There's a difference between having a narrator and having a central character, and I feel like it's a combination of the two, which makes it bad. You know what I mean?
No, but they're not the central characters.
I know, but they're like still part of the narrative and the dialogue. So I don't know. They're not just objective telling the story. That's fine. They're actually in the story, and
Right.
I feel like because they're almost like half character, half narrator, it makes it weird, and I'm not really a huge fan. But
I'm definitely less inclined to attack the droids as I am Chewbacca, because I can.
Why? Because
I
Chewbacca can fight back and the droids can't fight back?
because I do see some of the merit in the narrator argument.
Oh my god.
Right. Because that's what
Whereas
the
Chewbacca
argument
is
is.
boring.
Why is Chewbacca boring?
Because he's just there. He's just like, oh look, I can rip things apart.
Chewbacca's a furry.
I'm more stronger.
Because he's a Wookiee.
Like I think
So
I
that's
think
your now?
Luke could have co-piloted and it would have been fine. Without him, he could have just not been there,
Okay.
and nothing would have changed.
I
Story-wise.
think a lot would have changed if you...
Not plot-wise, Paul.
I think-
Story-wise, I think nothing would have changed if Chewie wasn't there. Other than I think
Okay, Sean,
the
Sean,
impact
I'm
on Han's humanity is one thing that would have changed. But other than that, I'm not seeing much.
Yes, that's the whole point of Chewbacca, is the Han's humanity and your so-called plot, not story.
And if Chewbacca wasn't there, then I think it also would elevate Han's character arc too.
And if you think about it, like...
Sarah.
I know.
Genius.
I know.
You know what? You're right. Chewbacca doesn't need to be there.
No, don't high-five
He
that,
doesn't
no!
need to be there. He could have just been omitted and it would have
I'm
nothing
really
would have
just here for
changed.
the drama.
Sarah, you're supposed to be on my side here.
I'm on my own side. Get lost.
Wait, but the other reason they included Chewbacca, because if you think about it, how many alien species outside the cantina were present in New Hope?
A lot.
In New Hope,
I can think of like a couple.
yeah,
Like
really just like Tatooine,
Yeah.
like Tusken Raiders.
Under 10.
Yeah, for sure. I can agree with that.
So if you're in outer space with a bunch of planets and a bunch of species, where the heck the species at?
So you're saying Chewbacca is included to make the series feel more spacey?
Yes. Which adds to the setting and the story and not your plot.
What if Han was green?
Shut, that does, no.
That would have fixed the problem.
No, but you get what I'm saying. Is Chewbacca's presence as a main character who's an alien species adds to the story, adds to the feel of you actually being not just on Earth.
Okay. That's another point I can agree with. It contributes to the feel, the sci-fi feel. Makes it feel more spacey. Alright.
So he is important.
I want to go that far.
Oh my god.
Okay, but now that we're considering the series as a whole, Chewbacca's an important character.
Chewbacca is definitely improved upon in later entries in the series.
And earlier ones.
Particularly Solo.
And the prequels.
I think Solo done him right.
I mean, I don't know. I still think Chewbacca and R2-D2 and C-3PO are integral parts of the story.
Just doesn't do anything
Maybe
but
R2
supplement Han.
because he does stuff that's useful. But C-3PO just kind of sits there and is like the anxiety of the whole
He's
group.
the comic relief.
What part of him freaking out about everything is funny?
As Sean Whitehouse.
Laugh about Sarah freaking out.
Okay, wow, first of all.
I mean,
I would just like to say fake friend.
Okay, Sarah. You're a fake friend because you didn't show up last time, so...
I'm so sorry. I had Tech Week for theater, and I'm an integral part of the show, so...
It was a good play, by the way.
Thank
Okay,
you.
no, we're stop talking about the play. This is why we had to restart, because you started talking about the play. So we're not going to talk about the play.
Okay, so wait,
fine.
that bit's not in there?
That bit is not in there.
So technically we haven't talked about the play yet.
No, we're not talking about the play.
Why?
Stop talking about the play.
It wasn't a play, it was a musical.
Just stop talking about the music. I don't care what you call it. Is Star Wars a musical?
It's important
No.
to me. It could be.
All right.
You want to make
So-
Star
We can
Wars the
make
musical?
that.
That piece back. All right. Star Wars.
Hashem.
What else? Oh, can we talk about New Hope?
People really like Tarkin in that, and like, he was a good actor, but I don't think he was a great character. He was just
Yeah.
kind of there.
How do you feel that they did him in Rogue One?
Do
you think
I
that
thought it was a cool callback, but
Did you-
nothing more than that.
Alright, do you think it added to his character in New Hope? Or do you think... Because a lot of people said the CGI was
Rogue One.
trash. But I thought it was fine.
I thought it was, what did he do in that movie?
He, yelled at Krennic and said he basically took credit for all of his stuff. I mean, it kind of asserted him as the,
Yeah.
not nice person.
So Tarkin, I interpret him as this, one-shot, one-and-done villain who wasn't meant to be anything great.
Right.
So, I'm not gonna criticize the movie for Tarkin being bad, because Tarkin was never a focus. I'm
Right.
really just more so confused towards the people who really love Tarkin, because I know they're
Okay.
out there.
That's good. He's in the Clone Wars TV show, too, if you want to watch that and get more of Tarkin's backstory.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Tatooine stuff was pretty good. Cantina Band, solid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The space fight at the end with the Death Star was okay. I personally like the Return of the Jedi one better. But
Be seen in Return of the Jedi?
yeah, when they blew up the second Death Star, I personally thought
yeah.
that was better than.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to talk about that. That's kind of cheap. It's just, it's back again.
Okay, you know what? No, we already talked
You know
about.
what? We will get into that when we talk about Force Awakens.
True.
Oh, Starkiller Base.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Speaking of which, do we want to segue into Force Awakens now? Are we done with New Hope?
I mean, let's see. What else was kind of lame about New Hope that we can about?
Tatooine was awesome.
The whole part when they get stuck on the Death Star is kind of dumb. They're like, oh, yeah, we're just gonna run around as stormtroopers, and
I thought it was exciting.
I mean, it's just when they get to the detention block, and then Khan shoots the thing. Okay, that's cool and stuff. But when they send I don't know, 4 or 5 stormtroopers down to get them, and then that whole scene with Han running.
That was funny.
And then he was
That was great.
And then there's 16 stormtroopers.
That was amazing. And you know what? This is also the movie with the scene where the stormtrooper hits his head on the door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I was a big fan.
There's a shot, for those who don't know, there's a shot where, the stormtroopers are walking through a hallway, and one of them bonks his head on the top of the doorway, and there's a boom sound as he hits the door, and they kept it in. It's so funny.
No, but I don't know.
And I believe when they remastered the movies, I think they even they made the noise louder, so it's
They
easier
added
to
a sound
it's,
effect.
So it's easier to notice that he hits his head.
Why?
Because it's a part of the lore, Sarah.
The lore.
That one
Fatality.
one stormtrooper that boop.
He's too tall. Aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper?
Yes, that guy's not. But, you know.
He was too tall.
This is kind of segue. This is kind of talking about the prequels. But how do you feel how that they have come out and said canonally the stormtroopers aren't the clone troopers? Because when I feel like they made the prequels, they set it up for the clone troopers to become the stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that
But now they're like, oh no, it's just recruits and stuff.
See,
Which kind of makes that comment, you're a little short for a stormtrooper.
see, in my world,
Yeah, no, I know.
how I like to think of it is that prequels aren't canon.
Oh my god, Sean, you can't just... No, you can't just admit...
I know it's
no.
not true, but I like to pretend I'm still in 1980 and everything is at peace. Except Chewbacca.
Chewbacca is not.
I mean, like... I don't know. Overall, it was a pretty solid film.
It was a great way to introduce the series.
Yeah. I mean, I think the other two were better. Like, the ones that came after were better. I mean, we've already been into Return of the Jedi and what problems you have with that. But I personally like that one the best. Actually, why did I say I like the other two better? No, I don't like Empire Strikes Back better. What? But I do like Return of the Jedi better.
Spicy Paul.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm okay with that.
Oh, we have another Star Wars shirt on.
I do have another Star Wars shirt on.
Catch on that.
Yeah.
I have Star Wars shirts.
I
haven't thought about it.
Try and do that. But okay, so are we ready to move on to next movie?
I think so.
Okay, so do we want to address Last Jedi or Force Awakens? Because I have Last Jedi ranked higher, so if we want to go in order of rankings.
And Sarah, what do you have?
I believe she had Last Jedi as higher too.
Then Force Awakens?
Yes.
No, I have Force Awakens at 4, Last Jedi at 6.
Okay. Sean, what do you got?
I have Force Awakens at 7 and The Last Jedi at 5th, so I have Last Jedi higher.
Alright, so we want to talk about Last Jedi? Or do we want to go in order?
I'd rather go in order. I'd rather start with Force Awakens.
I agree.
Fine by me.
So, the year is, 2016?
2015, I believe.
Okay, imagine this. The year is 2015. I'm walking into a theater, ready to watch the new Star Wars.
You've been waiting.
I've been waiting. My expectations are very, very low.
What?
Because I'm just preparing for the worst when I walk into this theater, right?
Sean, did the prequels really influence you that much?
Yes, they did.
Like, I feel like if you never saw those 3 movies, your life would be so different now.
It would be so much better now. I've gone through torment because of those films. Torment! Paul.
I can't wait till we talk about this next week.
But anyways. And I walk out of that theater 2 hours later, and I'm pleasantly surprised, because it was actually pretty dang good. I have my gripes with it.
Yep.
But I like the sequels. I really do like the sequels.
I would agree. I think they get a bad rap.
I think Rey is a really good character.
I agree.
I think Kylo is a really good character. I think it's
That's debatable, but we'll
okay.
Keep going. Don't laugh and stare at me, Sarah. What are you laughing at? Why are you smiling? Stop smiling.
I thought this podcast was supposed to be fun.
Okay. But I think we've already established...
Stop smiling.
I feel like we've already established that I suck the fun out of everything.
Yeah, obviously. You do, Paul.
So, I did really like this film, and I did enjoy the characters. My big concern with this movie is that it's New Hope.
Yep,
again.
Exactly. Yep, nope, I get that.
Yeah,
And BB-8's irrelevant.
Yeah, that too. BB-8's irrelevant.
But he rolls.
Oh, he's a ball. Wow, I have a ball at home too. It's called a soccer ball. I can roll it. Doesn't mean it should be in a movie.
Wow. Okay, Paul, tell me how you really feel.
BB-8's just created to sell toys.
You know what else rolls? My eyes. When BB-8 is on screen.
Okay, that was pretty good. I will give you that. But he walks around and chirps.
Anyways,
I don't know.
So first of all, we start on Jakku. That's the name of the planet, right?
Jakku, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Tatooine, but it's not called Tatooine.
Yeah.
That's so boring.
It's even sandy.
It would have been so much more interesting if we had a new planet. If we had
it is a new planet.
It's not.
Wink, wink.
It's Tatooine. It's just not called Tatooine.
What do you mean?
I
I don't
It's
see any.
Tatooine.
I think
Stop.
one of the big
Stop.
things that I really liked that made me put Last Jedi higher than Force Awakens is that it had a more interesting settings. Salt Planet was so cool.
But it was Hoth.
It was salt.
But it was Hoth.
But it was salt.
But it was Hoth instead of.
But it was salt.
It was just a different crystal, man. Instead of ice, it was salt.
I want to lick it.
Sarah. No, but like
Why?
they're not super original. That's like the main criticism is like it's lame because they're the same movies. But like,
Yeah, you start off on Tatooine, but not Tatooine,
yep.
and then
What's the difference between them? I didn't see any. I didn't see any similarities. How are they the same, Sean?
They're both deserts with poor people.
Really?
Yeah, and yeah.
And they
Wow.
both have
I thought it was
sand,
I
as
thought
I've
it was
said earlier.
I thought it was cool how you had the fallen Star Destroyer that Rey was like.
I think we should get a movie about that.
I think
that was
interesting.
actually
yeah, that was cool.
really interesting. Like when they pan up to it, and it's just like
Right, I thought that was awesome.
that was a really good way to set the tone for the movie. I thought.
Yeah, I think we should get a at least like a short or like something about the Battle of Jakku. Because that's
Okay.
because like it's supposed to be the last great battle of the original trilogy.
Huh.
But I feel like if we like got like a film or a TV show or a live action, like that'd be a cool movie or show or whatever.
I'd be down for that.
That's my.
But we're digressing. We're digressing.
Yes,
Force Awakens. You start off on Jakku, and then
with the old guy. We don't know who the old guy is.
I hate old guy. I hate him because he has.
We gotta
he has
keep
no-
this in the family.
He has no
what
purpose.
family?
He
What
has
family?
no purpose other than existing. You know.
I think it's a pretty big purpose.
How did he even get the map of Skywalker?
Oh, that's just such like a. I don't know. Anyways,
Like, what?
and then
Like,
Finn.
no, I think we still have to talk about old guy here. Like,
Do we? I'd rather just.
do
I'd
you know
rather
old
forget
guy's
about
name?
old. No.
Do you?
like I had to look it up. I don't even remember what it is. But like old guy like has where did old guy come from?
Old guy name.
Like, like he's just randomly there.
Okay, sure.
Poe goes to see him to get the map for Skywalker. How did he get the map for Skywalker? Who is he? Like honestly, when I saw the movie the first time, I thought he was gonna have like a bigger importance in the later movies. Like, who is this guy? But like, nope, he's just old guy with map. Like, where does old guy with map get map?
Yeah.
Where does old guy with map get the map?
Yeah.
Without map,
His name
what
is
is old guy with map?
Lorsan
Just old
Tekka.
guy.
Yeah, like what is Mr. Tekka's purpose?
Tech.
No, not
The
tech.
map.
But like,
The map is technology.
how did the map even like get separated?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know. Lots of who knows. Why does the map exist, by the way? Did Luke make it just in case? Is that what happened?
I feel like Luke made it to find the palace or the
just
temple.
enjoys being mysterious.
But like, why is it broken? Why does old guy have part of map? Like what? Okay, old guy don't. Next,
Finn's are like, I do like the characters. Like I do enjoy Finn.
Finn's kind of cool.
I think
He's the first Black Stormtrooper.
the first one.
Well,
Ever.
and then the other one that gets shot. And he's just like, no.
Poe, I like Poe too, but I think his humor feels forced, and also he wasn't there for most of the movie.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like,
No, I get that.
yeah, in the beginning of the next one, when he's like making fun of that commander, I thought that was kind of dumb.
Hey, we're gonna get into Last Jedi.
You know what, you're right.
You know
I'm
what?
sorry.
I
I'm
asked
sorry.
you if you wanted to talk about Last
I'm
Jedi
sorry.
first, and you said no. We're gonna talk about Force Awakens.
Yeah, the characters are right, but like in terms of plot, Tatooine, escape Tatooine, meet up with the rebels, and then go attack Death Star. It's exactly what happened.
Starkiller Base.
Yeah, again. Oh my God! This is the third time we've seen the Death Star.
No,
That's so
Yeah.
cheap.
No,
that's
it's-
so uninteresting.
it's Starkiller Base though.
Makes me want to gouge my eyes out. Just the same exact plot device used 3 times, destroyed 3 times.
No, it's Starkiller Base. It can destroy an entire system.
Oh.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And it's also got cool red special effects. It's got like a red laser special effect.
effects.
You know.
Han as the new Obi-Wan figure I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
But also, again, repeat of New Hope. It's just another Obi-Wan figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think Poe is probably the new Han figure.
You're right.
Or Finn.
More
Not
Poe.
Finn.
More Poe.
It's more Poe.
Because more Poe's more like the loose cannon kind of. I want to fight.
What the heck, Sean? I want to fight.
I almost.
What's her face? Orange lady who had Luke's lightsaber.
Oh, oh my
Maz.
god. I saw it in 3D and I like died.
Okay, first of all, why would you watch that in 3D?
Because, oh my god.
I mean, I saw
Parental
Solo in
units.
3D, but that's because you could only watch Solo in 3D at like the theater that I went to.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it regular.
No, sorry. Actually, we saw it in IMAX. My dad wanted to see it in IMAX.
I saw.
I don't know why.
I saw Black Panther in 4D.
What?
It had like.
Oh my god!
It had seats that would like move
Shape?
with the camera. So like when the camera panned down, your seat would like angle downwards. But it ended up being awful, because my
Sarah's
father was
like,
next
"Oh
to
my
me,
God."
and his seat, every time it moved, it went. The entire movie. It was all I could hear every time.
Did you
the
spill your
camera
popcorn
moved.
at all? Is that how fast it turned? Or
Every time his seat moved, the whole theater could hear his
Damn.
seat creaking. It was awful. Jesus. Whatever. We're getting sidetracked.
Okay.
We're getting really sidetracked this episode.
Okay.
It's okay.
So, back to Force Awakens. What did you think of Leia in Force Awakens?
I forgot she was in Force Awakens until you said that.
Oh yeah.
Forgot.
Okay.
If that tells you anything. What did she do in that one?
She was like,
General.
Han, bring our son home.
Oh yeah. Worried
That
mother
was
type.
basically it.
And Han's like, no, screw that.
I'm gonna kill him.
This kid tried to like kill.
So Maz, why did Maz have Luke's lightsaber? Questions?
She stole it.
She said she said she'll tell us later. Again. You're just like just disrespecting the lore with these. Just like,
Yeah,
we're not telling you. It just happens.
like that's the big criticism I have. Is like, I mean, yeah, okay, it's a ripoff of New Hope. Sure, fine, whatever. You're introducing these new characters. Whatever, do whatever. The thing that I have is like, why are there all of these plot holes?
Yeah.
Like, why is there a map?
It's plot
Why is
holy.
R2 turned off? Why does old guy have map? Where did Maz get Luke's lightsaber? Like,
It's plot holy and it's too much like New Hope.
yeah.
Yeah, and then Han dies
Oh,
just
I
like
agree.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about General Hux? How do you feel about him?
He I don't know much to say about him.
He's just kind of there. Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't he be the new Tarkin character? though?
Yeah.
Well,
Kind of. Well,
I-
Because,
he's
like,
more submissive. It's more like
No, but
he's upset that Kylo gets all the fame and glory.
yeah,
That's kind of the dynamic there. Tarkin never had that dynamic,
right.
so he's different at least. But
And what do you think of hologram Snoke?
I mean, that's more of a Last Jedi topic. He wasn't really in Force
Yeah,
Awakens.
but, like,
he just sort of showed up, and everyone was speculating about it for the next year.
Yeah.
I would like to say that I do appreciate the way that it deviates from A New Hope. Ow, there's my head. A New Hope, because, like when Kylo Ren actually kills Han Solo, whereas Luke never killed his father to complete the transition to the dark side, because I feel like they're really aware of the fact that every single movie is kind of the same, and I don't know, I just kind of appreciated that
But
it was...
that's why you like Rogue One. 'Cause It's
different.
different.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I just thought that was pretty cool. It was kind of, I guess, you would kind of assume it, because this guy's pretty set on going to the dark side through the whole movie. But
I will finish what you started.
yeah,
No, actually, see, for me, the saving grace for this movie is the characters.
yeah.
Kylo Ren, he starts off in dark side, but throughout the movies, he's continuously seduced by the light side, which isn't something we've seen before.
Right. Again, I find that really, really interesting. And then he makes one final push to throw himself under.
And then...
Which is why
and then
I'm calling it right now. In the last one, he's going to turn to the light side.
What? No way, Sean. It's not like they've been setting that up for the past two movies.
I know.
Why?
I know, it's like...
I would really love to see another big plot twist, though.
Yeah, where he, like, kills Rey or something.
No, I would love to see something like that. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, what if he, like, kills Rey and then regrets it and then turns light?
But what if he kills Rey, regrets it,
All
and
right,
then just
okay,
becomes
again,
more
we're getting
dark?
sidetracked.
Got it.
I like Kylo because he's different and he's interesting. And he's, like,
Yeah,
he's grappling with the light side and he's grappling with being the grandson of Darth Vader.
What if the
trying to
Force
imitate
Order
Darth
actually
Vader
wins?
with the mask and everything.
And I really appreciate the fact that it kind of shows that... Because, you know, obviously in the original 3, it was just like, oh yeah, these are characters going through it. But I feel like this really showcases how young these people really are. Because they're not super experienced in this world at all. I mean, do we even have an age for them? They're like, what? In every dystopian book ever, it's like late teen, early 20s. So.
Yeah.
But... yeah, I just really appreciate that aspect.
I liked Rey too. I thought she was, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for.
Okay, Sean.
So that's cool.
Yeah. You know what? I would agree with that. How do you feel about, like, Rey never holding a lightsaber before and being like, "Whatcha?"
Yeah, that I didn't like.
Nope.
What about Finn being like, "Whatcha?" Shing, shing. Because, like, he held his own against Kylo for good, like, I don't know, what is it?
Maybe Kylo's just really bad.
Yeah, my conclusion is that Kylo is a pushover. The real problem, the big problem
Kylo
for me
is a power bottom.
is not so much her use of the lightsaber, but more so her use of the Force.
Yeah.
She's able to mind trick someone.
Yeah.
Seconds after first realizing she can use the Force.
Exactly.
That's awful.
Literally,
It's such a disrespect
if Luke
to the lore.
Skywalker could not do that, I'm sorry, she can't. Like, I just...
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, I mean, okay, so back to the Kylo Ren, like, her with the lightsaber. So the reason they say that Kylo was easily defeated was because Chewbacca shot him
like
with
a
the
cereal.
bowcaster. And that's why they highlighted on Han being like, oh, I really like this. It's really powerful with the bowcaster. Because then Chewbacca shoots him with it. So Kylo is supposed to be injured, in quotation marks. And that's why Rey and Finn can hold their own for, like, 10 seconds instead of, like, 5 seconds. But, you know. I don't know. It's kind of questionable, but...
I respect how the sequels put less of a focus on flashiness.
How so?
The prequels were all CGI, and the prequels, if you look at the lightsaber battles in the prequels, it's just like it's like they're dancing. It's like I'm playing DDR.
But isn't that what a lightsaber battle is?
No, look at
Like-
Revenge of the Sith. Not Revenge of the Sith. Return of the Jedi. That climactic battle between Darth Vader and Luke, there's real emotion put into their swings. When Darth Vader finally threatens Leia, Luke goes into a fit of rage and he just slashes him down like a barbarian, just wildly.
Right.
Like, versus if you look at Anakin v Obi-Wan at the end of Revenge of the Sith, they're just like doing flips and like doing little twirls
agree.
of their
They're really not going to main at all. They're just going to show off, which I think is more about movie fighting styles in general because they want to increase the length of time that they're fighting and kind of show off
also,
some stunts.
especially for younger audiences, the flashiness wins. Flashiness is more interesting.
Exactly. And that's the other thing too, is that these movies, they are PG-13. Are they PG-13? I think so.
Probably.
Because they are meant for like a young-ish audience, so...
But
BB-8.
the point I was making is that in the sequels, they definitely toned back on the flashiness in the fights. They made it a little more reasonable.
So they toned back on the flashiness, but they toned up on the merchandise.
Oh, for sure. Merchandise? Yeah. It's all over the place.
Porgs. Okay, well, let's see. What else we got for Force Awakens? BB-8, kind of useless. Like, I mean, your whole story, not plot thing. Like, BB-8
doesn't do anything.
Only there for the plot.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Chewbacca showed some emotion when Han died. I liked that.
Yeah.
He was sad.
He was.
He was sad as Sean laughs.
I mean, I don't know. It was okay. It was a solid.
I thought that the film was exciting. Like, that cliffhanger when she goes up to the island and just, like, sees Luke and Luke turns around and that's it. That really left me, like, drooling for more.
Yeah. No, I get that. Like, I mean, I had this above Empire Strikes Back again because I at least felt like something happened in this movie. More so than Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
And like we were saying, I like the characters. I think they did an okay job. I don't think they did a great job deviating from New Hope. But
yeah, that was, again, that's such, like, that detracted from the movie so much.
Yeah.
So much of it was just New Hope, but again.
That's why I have Last Jedi higher, because at least they somewhat tried.
Right. Like, Last Jedi, I think the bad parts of Last Jedi were much worse than the bad parts of Force Awakens, but the good stuff was much better than any of Force Awakens.
Yeah, Force Awakens was just, like, kind of a middle of the road thing.
It was just a very safe movie for them.
Yeah, that's why I had it at 7, because, like, it's a middle of the road. Like, it wasn't anything like, oh my god, this is amazing.
And I feel like, again, that they were trying to test the waters and see if people wanted sequels. And
I also feel like it was trying to bring in a new audience, because you have it, what, did Phantom Menace come out in 1999? And so. Revenge of the Sith came out in, like, 06, 07?
I think it was a bit earlier, but
05, 06, 07, whatever. So it's been 10 years since you had your last Star Wars film. So to get those new, like, I don't know, 11, 13-year-olds interested in the movie, I mean, it was a good film to do that. Because, like...
I think so.
If they had never seen New Hope before, this was like, oh, what? This is insane. So, I mean, logistically it makes sense. So, I respect that. But it's nothing. It's no Return of the Jedi. Alright. So are we good talking about Force Awakens?
So now, we gotta talk about Last Jedi.
The most controversial Star Wars movie ever.
Easily.
Yeah. I mean, Solo was sort of as well, but Last Jedi, whew, that was...
Okay, guys. So let's set the scene. The year is 2017. I'm walking into a theater. My hopes are high because, Force Awakens was pretty good. I enjoyed Force Awakens.
And you want to see what happens to Luke on the hill.
Right, I want to see what happens to Luke. And I know this is the parallel to Empire, which was a masterpiece. Paul.
Shut up.
It wasn't. So there's a high expectation for this movie because it is the parallel to what is usually regarded as the best of Star Wars.
Great copy of Hoth.
So I'm anticipating it. I go into the theater. I come out 2 hours. Well, no. Let me step back a bit. I'm watching the movie. I'm enjoying it. Luke stuff is great. Everything's great. But then suddenly, they're at a casino.
Yeah.
And the problem with this casino is that it's just a normal casino. It's just like they're in Vegas, but there's aliens walking around.
Which is just they're in Vegas.
Right. And then let's see who...
Wow.
So let's say who...
Yikes.
And then
I just meant that everyone dresses strange in Vegas. I'm not talking about, like, foreigners.
And
okay,
now, let's look at... So now I'm like, okay, this kind of sucks. The setting kind of sucks. But, let's see what they do with this character, Rose. I'm sure she's going to do some interesting things in this casino.
False.
Oh. Bless you.
Thank you, dusty books.
So, my point in this anecdote, casino scene sucked, and that was actually a decent chunk of the movie, was this dumb casino.
What about that random guy that helped them escape? That I have no idea what his name is.
Oh my god, don't even start it. And then Rose was... Oh, I didn't like Rose either. She was just kind of there. I don't like what they did with Finn in this movie. I think he was much better in Force Awakens. Purple hair guy, I don't like her either.
You don't like Holdo?
No.
Admiral Holdo?
No.
Dude, that's the person from Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, Saw Gerrera's the guy from Black Panther. Oh. Anyways, those are like my major gripes. Purple hair.
Wait, so how does the anecdote end?
Oh, I walk out of that movie with some mixed feelings. But overall, I'm glad.
Why are you glad, Sean?
I'm glad because it didn't just rehash what happened in Empire. It did something new. And being new, being novel, inherently makes it more exciting, I think.
Alright,
Right.
so you want to hear my anecdote from
Despite the big problems.
Last Jedi?
Yeah.
So I go see it, I believe on opening night. I walk in, I'm like, okay, pretty excited. Trailers have looked pretty good. Wonder what's going to happen with Luke, because we've seen him in the trailers with the, like, the time for the Jedi is over, or whatever. So I'm like, wonder what's going to happen with that.
Spoiler alert, he talks in the third person. Because he is the Jedi in his mind.
Okay, Sarah, I'm telling a story here, so...
I'm so sorry.
So I walk in, pretty into, like, I had some high hopes for it. I sit through the movie, and my only thought when I come out is, damn, that was a long movie.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck? Why? Like, even though it was only, like, 2 hours and 30 minutes, it felt like forever. Like...
2 hours and 33 minutes.
I was just like, jeez. Was I really in there for only 2 hours and 33 minutes? So, I mean, overall, I like the plot and stuff, but I was like, this is way too long of a movie. So, I'm like, okay, you know what? I gotta see it again. So I decided to go see it again, like, 2 or 3 days later. And I watch it, and I'm like, that was significantly shorter than the last time I watched it. So, my point here is that...
That's just a thing that happens, Paul, though.
No, but what I'm saying is...
What? Oh, a gift.
Sean, stop giving Sarah trash.
Yeah, Sean, stop giving me Paul.
Oh, damn it, guys.
Hey, I thought this was supposed to be clean.
I've said way worse. Okay, beside the point. You weren't here for the last one when I swore like twice.
Oh, twice.
But my point is that a lot of people seem to have like watched it originally and had completely different opinions of it the second or third time they watched it. Because I know people who like watched it and loved it the first time, and then people who watched it the second time and are like, that was the worst Star Wars movie I've ever seen. So I feel like Last Jedi, like overall, like I feel like the mood that you watch it in and then the number of times that you've seen it completely alters your opinion of it. So you guys can talk about that.
I can kind of get behind that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna say anything.
Honestly.
Okay.
So
I want to talk more about how bad the Finn thing was.
okay, what was your problem with Finn?
Phasma. The Phasma fight was underwhelming.
Okay.
Like they didn't do anything with Phasma's character, and there wasn't
Except kill her.
And there wasn't much like build up to make the audience actually resent Phasma, or to be actually invested into this Finn v Phasma fight.
Right.
I just think the whole thing was poorly done, and Rose's existence also poorly done. I didn't care about her. So there's a lot of these moments in the end of the film that are supposed to be climactic, but they fail to be for me because I do not care about these characters. I really liked Rey and Kylo again.
Yep.
Like,
Well,
you know,
what'd you think about their like connection thing across space with the Force.
That was kind of hokey.
And the touchy thing, and it's like, my glove, it's wet because Rey was in the rain. What?
I sincerely hope that they go in for a kiss and one of them just stabs the other. Oh, I can't deal with
They're
this
100%
romantic subplot.
They're 100% like related or something.
I don't think they're related. I really hope they're not related. I actually was kind of into
Yeah, because wasn't there...
You were
Connection
into that?
thing. Yeah.
That was like my least favorite part of the movie. Like
It
the whole
was-
Bold claim.
like the okay. I get why people hate the casino part, but I didn't have so much a problem with the casino part as I did with the random, like, oh, I can have visions of you and talk to you when you're millions of like, what? No, dumb.
To me,
Stupid.
that's sort of really hinting that they're going to fall in love or something, and
Yes.
I can kind of deal with that in the beginning.
I mean, the thing
Like-
that the idea was that what's his face, Snoke set up that connection.
Yeah, but that's stupid.
Not that they're like in love.
I don't
or
care.
anything.
Like,
Yeah, no, but like I can sort of deal with something not that extreme, but like some sort of weird allure that they're getting from each other in the beginning of it, because you know obviously they've never met before, and you know this is a major plot point kind of a thing. But then after that, it just kind of becomes like, all right, we get it, move on.
yeah, no, I like that. That was my least favorite part. I was like, I don't care about this. This is stupid. Casino, I was fine with, which I know a lot of people hated the casino. But, like, the only problem I had with the casino part was the whole, like, oh, we have to care for the animals and the war profiteering. Like, okay, sure. I mean, if you want to, like, talk about animal rights, go right ahead. Like, it's your movie, sure. But, like, the ultimate, like, casino scene, like, I was fine with that. Like, I mean, finding the code breaker, kind of dumb, but, like...
Again, I didn't like that either. The whole Finn Rose, everything about Finn Rose side plot. It was just awful. I didn't care.
Like, see, like,
Oh,
I don't have a problem with Rose, which I know a lot of people are going to be like, heck, Paul, he's stupid, and I'm going to get so much flack for this, but, like, I didn't have a problem with Rose. Like...
Oh my God, Paul, you're
What
so
the
stupid.
heck, Paul?
Like, I mean, yeah, I get that she was, like, the whole reason people hated this movie, but, like, I mean, she was just another new character who was trying to do something different than what the previous characters had done. Like, if you think about it, you've never had really a dissident character in the Star Wars thing.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere where some other character who's just like, well, let's not do what these people are doing. Let's do something completely different behind their back. We haven't had that.
What about Wait, see, you're talking about the Codebreaker backstabbing them?
No, I'm talking about Rose and Finn
Oh, that.
going and
Okay.
Poe helping them and going off on their own.
I mean, I guess you're not wrong, but
Like-
it wasn't done in an interesting way.
I mean, I felt like it was... I personally thought just the idea of them going against Holdo...
Okay, you know what? I agree with that.
Like,
I think it was interesting that they had that plan,
yeah.
but like actually what happened after they left was just a train wreck.
But I also kind of like the train wreck. Which I know doesn't make
Hold on, Paul just said he likes train wrecks.
I know that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it was
but,
awful. That's why I loved it.
But, like, okay,
Made me feel better
That
about myself.
explains all of your opinions.
No,
Suddenly
but,
everything
like-
makes sense.
I'm gonna go with what my brother said.
Okay.
Nick?
Nick, my little brother,
He's a child.
who's 14,
He's a child.
said, you know, I really like this movie. Because this is the first Star Wars movie where their plans and everything leading up, like, everything they do, has failed. Like, in past Star Wars movies, everything they do, like, oh, yay, we blew up the Death Star. Oh, yay, we did this. Oh, yay, we blew up Starkiller Base. Everything's worked.
Oh, yay, Han got frozen in kryptonite and Luke lost a hand.
But, like, their plans, that's not, like, what they plan to do. You see what I'm saying? Is, like, we've never had it so, like, the bad guys win and that their plans all fail. Well, I mean, we sort of had that in Empire Strikes Back.
I think their plans failed in Empire.
I'll give you that.
They tried to escape from the attack on Hoth, and ultimately they were unsuccessful in saving everyone.
I'll give you that. But I feel like this did it much... It made the character seem, to me, more realistic. Where it didn't set them up as infallible, never-failing people. Which, I mean, I get why a bunch of people hated that, because it's just like, what the heck, this was a complete waste of time, completely useless. But I feel like their experience through this failure made them more realistic and human characters.
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't justify why it was trash,
Mm.
but, like, they could have done a better job of making them fail. But I feel like the overarching concept of them failing to do something and going behind someone's back and not just following the scheme of the Star Wars universe movie plots, I think made it interesting and different and overall a pretty solid film.
What do you think about Luke and Yoda?
Luke and Yoda? I honestly thought the Yoda CGI was kind of bad.
I wish they had a puppet.
I wish they did something, like, to not make Yoda look like trash.
Yeah.
Like, Yoda did not look good in that movie. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna push... Like,
You know why? His ears were a different shape.
well, I mean, the only other movie where he looked worse in was Phantom Menace.
Yeah, Yoda definitely. Oh my god.
Yoda and Phantom Menace? Whoo! Bad. But, yeah, no, this Yoda was
I thought
awful
his
looking.
eyes were like weird and
Yeah, I
shiny and
was
way too
not
big.
a fan of Yoda in that.
I mean, what do you think of Yoda burning down the temple?
I like that. I was a fan.
I liked it too.
Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty in character of him.
I thought it was very
To just like do something spontaneous and like,
I felt like it was very metaphorical too,
yeah.
which I liked. Because
Yeah,
it was
I thought
just
it was an
like,
interesting take.
A lot of people criticize Luke in that movie for not
Yeah.
being in character
yeah. I don't know how I feel about that.
because it's if you look at him at the end of The Last Jedi, he was like a devout follower of the Force.
Right.
And
Or you mean the Return of the Jedi, but yeah.
Right. And then in this one, he suddenly wants to disband the Jedi, and also he tries to kill Kylo. I mean, he decides not to in the end, but the fact that he even lifted his lightsaber against Kylo was very not Luke.
Right.
Because he's supposed to be this peace-loving, enlightened person by the end of the original trilogy, which he fails to act upon.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, that might be viable if something had happened in between that we knew about. But the thing is nothing is explained. He's just like that. So
Back
if
to
there
not explaining
was...
stuff.
We need more of a backstory, I
Right.
think, for him. There has to have been
Yeah,
some traumatic event.
He sees Kylo turning dark, and he just loses it. Which
Hold up.
Like
Pause
the
on
whole
this.
thing with the original trilogy was that he had faith in Vader's ability to become good.
Stop.
Why is there
fondling the good
popcorn
earth.
on this shelf?
Huh?
Why is there popcorn
Shut
on
up!
this shelf? There's like 2 kernels of popcorn on that
Oh.
shelf right there.
Never mind. I thought you meant like a bag of popcorn
No.
to eat. I got excited.
But yeah, no, I mean, like, I get why people are like, oh,
Stop
Luke-
sidetracking, Paul says.
yeah. No, but I get why people are like, oh, Luke isn't Luke, and he needs to be more optimistic, and he shouldn't have done all this stuff, and he should still try to train new Jedi and stuff. But, like, I mean, I don't really have, like, an explanation why he would do that initially, but I feel like he comes back into character at the end of the movie. So I feel like again, it's Disney trying to do something different.
Yeah.
Because we've never seen Luke lose his way before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when he gets destroyed in Empire Strikes Back, and he's got his hand cut off, and Han's in carbonite and stuff, he comes in Return of the Jedi still I am a Jedi. I am for good. So I feel like it's Disney and the new movies trying to change things up and show Luke actually losing his way. Which,
because in the original trilogy, it's always been the light side, the light side, the light side. Don't fall to the temptation of the dark side. And then in the sequels, it's like, well, maybe not everything is light and dark. There's darkness and light in Luke, I think, and there's also light and darkness in Kylo.
Yep. And I feel like he redeems himself at the end when he comes back to face Kylo.
I did enjoy that ending sequence.
Oh my god, that was so cool. And
then he dies, and then he the twin sons aren't actually there, but he hallucinates about the twin sons.
But
in his final moments.
That was precious. Yeah, that was a little.
So.
But I really appreciated the last fight sequence, with the
salt.
Yeah. Did you already talk about that? No, I don't think so.
No, because I would go off about how Crate is basically the battle.
No, but I just thought it was I thought it was a really interesting take because, obviously you put pressure on it and
it's the same battle.
Turns red. So I just thought it was really interesting.
I thought it was visually interesting.
That's what I think what I'm trying to get at.
And I like the islands.
And it was almost
I just liked the settings in this one much better than in.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, Crate is off. It's the same thing.
You're not wrong, but it's better than Jakku.
But it's still the same thing.
It's much better than Jakku.
The reason I like this one more than Empire Strikes Back. I like the idea. My favorite, like I said in the first episode, Hoth is probably my favorite part of Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
After that, I don't really care about the rest of the movie. So them taking Hoth and putting it into this movie makes me want to watch this movie over Empire Strikes Back. Because it's if I want to see that scene, I can just watch it in Last Jedi versus watching it in boring, I don't care about Empire Strikes Back.
Mm.
So I do like how they used Hoth in Last Jedi, but it's the same thing.
I'm not going to disagree with you. Because it is a white place when they're battling on the ships.
Right.
And they're trying to escape.
Yeah.
There are definitely a lot of parallels.
Right. Other questions we got here. Han Solo's dice. Where did that come from? Were they in the original trilogy?
They were.
Because, Solo...
They weren't emphasized in the original trilogy at all,
Solo
but they
and
were always hanging in their stash.
Because, Solo and Last Jedi put a very big emphasis on those.
They did.
And I was just that kind of came out of nowhere.
Mm.
Which, I guess that now Han Solo is dead in Last Jedi. I guess that they could... that's how he carries on. And Solo is trying to do the origin of that so that it'd be more symbolic for him to carry on.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I just was just why do we have dice that are disappearing?
Mm.
No.
Yeah, then that's just a poor order of events, I think.
Right.
But.
Rey lifting rocks. How do you feel about Rey lifting rocks?
After the training with Luke?
But, did you lift those rocks?
Did she really get trained by Luke, though?
Yeah.
How so?
She was on the island the whole movie.
Oh, she was... See, that's another parallel between that and Empire Strikes Back is, where's Luke throughout the entire movie?
On the island of Rey.
No. In Empire Strikes Back, where's Luke?
Oh, he's with Yoda.
And Yoda in the swamp.
Yeah.
Where's Rey?
Oh, there's definitely parallels that they draw between the two.
And that's why I like Last Jedi more than Empire Strikes Back.
Main cast is running away from the evil people, and then main character is somewhere training with Master.
No,
that's the parallel being drawn. But after that, it diverges greatly from.
I was gonna
Empire.
say it's almost the same, at least as far as 4 to 7 and 5 to 8. Those are the right numbers. And then at the end of the movie, at the climax, you get this change. So, and it
they kind of
deviates from the norm. So I'm really excited to see what they do with episode 9 because I want...
It's not going to be better than Return of the Jedi.
I mean, maybe
Nope.
not.
Nope.
But I'm expecting something that follows a similar storyline, and then I'm expecting another change at the end of that. So, they're still trying to one-up, no, I am your father.
Yeah.
Good luck with that one.
I'm surprised they didn't do, like, a reveal of who Rey's parents are.
I
have a feeling that that's gonna be one in the next one, because
Thank
that's
you
when...
for whoosh.
You're welcome, yeah.
No, I
Thank you
think
for hitting my jeans.
the
You're
purpose was that they revealed that her parents are no one. And that she's just born to these people who sold her off.
Is that the truth? Or did
I
Kylo
really
straight
hope
up lie?
so. I really hope it is the truth. I think that's an important message to
Young
give,
viewers,
you know?
But, like...
Because that's the message they were trying to convey. You know, in that last sequence, you have that random kid who's using the Force. And the only purpose of that is to say that, you know, this power, it's not limited to the bloodline of the Skywalkers. Everyone, everyone has power within them.
But see, the
Everyone
problem...
Thank you.
The problem with that is, why would they call the last movie Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker?
Problem with that, Paul, is we haven't seen the movie yet. It's not out, so who knows?
But you're saying, like, oh, the power's not limited to the Skywalkers. But the entire next movie is titled The Rise of Skywalker.
I'm not going to say anything about the next movie because we've not seen the next movie.
I haven't seen it.
All I'm saying is that the theme of a big theme of Last Jedi was there's power within all of us. And I think that's exemplified by Rey's parents being no one. And I really hope they stick with that and don't change their minds and say, ooh, you're Luke's cousin.
Okay. So, the last two things we got to talk about here are the hyperspace, or Leia using the Force.
Oh my God.
The hyperspeed with Holdo into the spaceship. Codebreaker. And we also got to talk about... What was the last thing that I wanted to talk about? I don't know. Let's talk about
Okay.
Oh, throne room fight scene. And Snoke dying. We got a lot here to unpack.
So,
Oh,
I feel a little bad for the people that were sitting around me when I watched that movie. Because when Leia Supermaned across, I was laughing hysterically. I could not contain it.
God.
I could not contain it. That was the most ridiculous. Oh my god. And you could tell she just kind of like lifted her fist in front of a green screen. And they had her.
I thought, the CGI on that was so bad.
It was really bad CGI. Even if it was good CGI, it was just a ridiculous shot.
It was so hokey.
And, oh man, the only thing that would have made it worse is if she had like a red cape on. Like,
probably a better way to have done that was if she was like starting to do it and then was struggling to get back, you know what I mean?
Yeah, or just like something less silly. Like,
exactly.
Like I know they're trying to call back to the fact that she can use the Force and that she is what's his face's Anakin's daughter.
Yeah.
But like,
no,
flying through space. We have no.
Yeah.
It would have been better if she just like force pulled something.
What?
Yeah.
I think she shouldn't have used the Force to begin with.
That works too. That's an equally good argument.
Like, I mean, that's a main thing where people are like, that scene was the stupidest thing. I hate that movie because of that scene. Which, I mean, like, that's kind of an overreaction, but like, I understand where you're coming from. Where it's just like, really, really.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on that?
No more thoughts. Only resentment.
Okay. So next up, Holdo with the hyperspeed into the...
I don't know, I kind of liked that actually. I thought it was really dramatic, but it begs the question: why don't ships crash into each other more often?
Exactly.
So I was talking to one of my friends. Yes, I have friends, people. Kenny.
Not us though.
Yeah, not these guys. But Kenny Lico was saying, why would they do that? Like, you're calling into question all the dynamics of the ships, because the Millennium Falcon can just jump right into hyperspace and they don't hit anything.
Mm-hmm.
So wouldn't ships have to have like an auto navigating thing around stuff in hyperspace?
I mean, it does have.
But I have a reason for that.
Okay.
So, Sarah, you haven't watched Solo yet, but in Solo they integrate L3's mapping system into the Falcon.
Yeah.
So that explains why the Falcon can just jump into hyperspace without putting in coordinates.
I mean, there are lines in the originals about, we can't jump into hyperspace yet. We need to make the calculations to make sure we don't crash in. They
Right.
acknowledge this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
My problem is, I think it's cool and I think it's flashy, but I think it's lore breaking in the sense that why haven't people used this tactic before?
I guess so. That makes sense.
Like,
because you're
couldn't we
destroying
just,
your
like-
own ship for it.
Yeah,
but
it's
like,
kamikaze.
okay,
And no, we have
instead of
seen it
needing-
before
we have?
in the Clone Wars TV
Stop
show.
Like, what if instead of trying to nail the little hole into the reactor of the Death Star, how about you just light speed through it? And it
Because they have shields.
Are you saying that the ship that Holdo crashed into did not have shields?
I'm assuming so. Because wasn't that the whole point of the Rose Finn mission?
It's general physics, though. I feel like even if it did have shields, it would just launch the thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, wasn't that the whole point of the mission? Was that they shut down the shields?
I don't remember. I kind of repressed that.
No, but I mean, I thought it was cool. And the whole argument that, shouldn't they have auto things to go around those in hyperspace? Every ship has had to make calculations before.
Yeah.
So
I'm not calling that into
That's
question.
kind of BS. And the only reason the Millennium Falcon can jump into hyperspace much quicker than the other ones is because they got L3's best navigating computer in the entire galaxy. So
Yeah, it's just my only gripe with that scene is that I feel like we would have seen that before if that was such a good tactic.
right.
Mm.
So yeah, how about that Snoke dying in that throne fight?
I
scene?
was down with it.
I mean,
Honestly.
And honestly, with Palpatine coming back in the next one,
is
Snoke
he
might.
Hey, is he actually?
Yeah.
What?
Did you miss out on that?
I've been trying to not watch anything or see anything.
Sorry, Paul.
I know,
He's in it.
I know Lando's coming back.
Palpatine is confirmed in the cast, played by Ian, whatever his last name is. Same actor as prequels. Sorry, Paul.
Okay.
I'm gonna pat you on the shoulder.
Okay. Thanks, Sean.
But
I can hear that
so
thud.
with him coming back, people are saying that Snoke is Palpatine all along, and that he's still alive, and so who knows what they're gonna do with that?
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
How do you feel about Snoke dying in Last Jedi?
I thought it was a cool twist.
So, yeah.
I feel that. The only thing with the throne room fight scene is, another one of my friends. Yes, I have multiple friends, guys.
And by multiple, he means two.
Yep.
Two
friends.
friends.
Showed me this video of a breakdown of the throne room fight scene, and the entire fight scene just doesn't make any sense. Like, there's like one of the guys is just spinning around. Like, he's got a free shot at Rey, and he just spins around and runs the other way.
Can we talk about how they look like the Palm Warriors or whatever from that pomegranate drink commercial?
Oh yeah.
The guards?
Yes.
I sincerely hope... Palm Wonderful. I sincerely hope that Paul puts a visual in here.
Oh, I will. Don't worry. Yeah, no. They look exactly...
No, Palm Wonderful
Palm Wonderful
is the name of the drink.
Oh, yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh,
They do.
They look exactly...
I mean,
Exactly
I think
like
it's
them.
more that they're both inspired by. Hold on, let me look this up.
no. So, yeah, no. I mean, like, I like the throne room fight. I like the throne room fight scene because I think the CGI is cool in it with the like burning curtains
Oh my God.
and stuff, and how like they stab people. But like, the actual choreography doesn't make any sense.
Huh.
Like the guy running away.
I would need to look at it again, Paul, but I believe you.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So. Yes, they look exactly like the Palm Wonderful
They're like
warriors.
exactly the same.
But yeah, so
The
no.
Palm Wonderful Warriors are just more translucent.
Yeah. But back to the choreography. Yeah, there's a guy running away. There's a guy spinning. It's kind of dumb. There's also like when Rey's got the lightsaber and she's trying to hold off the guy, and then she shuts off the lightsaber and drops it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the guy was pushing down with all his force, and Rey lets go of the lightsaber, wouldn't he just go whoosh?
Through her?
Yeah.
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 So I mean, the physics is kind of questionable, but I mean, suspension of disbelief for a movie.
Yeah.
And
Why
I think
not?
that goes back to the stunts and the dancing style of the
Right.
fights. And
Do you want to get on the chair? You've been sitting on the floor for a while, Sarah.
I enjoy the floor.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, I mean, it's overall a good movie in my opinion. That's why I had it so high up at number 5. It was a higher middle of the road one for me. But you know, like, yeah, the animal rights thing was kind of dumb. I didn't mind the casino scene as much as other people. The code breaker guy was kind of stupid, but like it showed that like
Yeah.
Not
I
everyone-
know.
not everyone in the galaxy is the same thing we've been saying. It's not everyone's light or dark. There are people who shift between the two for their own personal gain. So I was okay with him. The Phasma fight scene.
I almost feel like that the whole growth between the light and the dark and realizing that there's more of a gray in between actually kind of shows the growth of the series. It's almost like
Yeah.
the series is growing up. You know what I mean? Because I guess in the prequels it's very distinct light versus dark.
Right.
And then in the originals you have the grappling between light versus dark with Luke and his internal conflict and whatever. And then in these most recent two you have people who are both dark and light simultaneously and who aren't necessarily conflicted with joining one particular side. And I don't know, I just really like that progression of growth through the series as a whole. And it actually works chronologically, which I find funny since obviously the prequels were made and then sequels and
And I mean,
all that jazz.
Sean said he didn't like the beginning part where Poe was making fun of the guy on the dreadnought, but I kind of liked that. I thought like it showed that they were trying to add some comedy, and it wasn't bad, wasn't awful comedy like the prequels. So I mean, I respect that. I also liked the Blue Squadron or whatever with the bombers. That was kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
I like Tali Wintra, the random pilot person. She was on point. Yeah, that's all I got to say about Last Jedi.
Yep.
Do you guys got anything else?
Not currently, I don't think.
Nothing's coming to mind.
Okay.
All right.
Sean, you want to wrap us up?
So, yeah, I think that's a good way to conclude episode 3.
Are you on the school Chromebook doing that?
Yeah.
How did you manage that?
Got talent. Okay, so next week I hope we should be able to finish up our ranking with our discussion of the prequels,
Yay.
and we'll figure out when. I don't know when we're gonna talk about Solo, if ever. We'll see what happens with that.
We can probably just... What if you... We can probably just hash it in
Yeah,
next week.
we'll figure something out. Very loud.
No, stop. Stop, I like this one.
You're ruining my outro music. Alright. Okay. So, we'll see you next week for the long-awaited prequel discussion.
Is it long-awaited? Literally stop.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.